Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy AD and welcome to another episode of Ground Up. And today we have a very, very special episode along with a very special guest. Now this guest I haven't spoken to in a long time. He's a very, very good friend of mine. So I decided to reach out to him and ask him if he would love to get on the Ground Up podcast and just have a good chat. And he was keen and I was happy that he was because I know you guys would really enjoy listening to him talk and his idea and life from his point of view, I guess. So sit back, grab your popcorn, grab a drink, get comfortable or whatever. This is going to be a very, very good episode. This is the first part. If he does have a YouTube channel as well. He does streaming games like 2K, just recently started on FIFA and a few other ones I'm pretty sure. So his channel will be left in the description down below. So make sure you guys head down there, or it will be right here so you can search it up. So make sure you guys head down there, click on it, and go subscribe to his channel as well. Without any further ado, welcome our third guest on Ground Up Podcast, Beau Edwards, aka Jangz08. Let's get it. Peace. Starting YouTube.
Oh, YouTube? Yeah. Interesting. So for me, YouTube was like this random weird thing. Yeah. It was like, oh, there's this place where you can upload videos and I watch people play video games on it. That's really cool. Oh, I want to do that. So my first ever YouTube video was me holding like a camera where you flips open.
Oh yeah.
It was one of them. Open a flip cam, turning it around, holding it, going, "What's up, guys? My name's Jangz08 and I'm a young Aboriginal man." And
so, was it always Jangz08?
Yeah.
Oh, so I wonder what's the story behind the name.
So 8's my favorite number.
Yeah.
So that's where the 08 comes from. So my name's Beau, obviously.
Yeah.
And when there's an old song years and years ago, I can't remember what it's actually called. It might be called this, but it's called it's Mr. Beau Jangles.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So all my family call me Jangles.
Yeah.
And like all my cousins and that, I'm Jangles. But then slowly that instead of being Jangles, was hey Jangs, what's going on? So that was just my nickname growing up.
Yeah.
So then I was like, that's an okay nickname for YouTube and for whatever. So yeah, that's where that
did
went.
people at school in all that call you?
Nah. So YouTube, that was really only family.
Yeah.
And then YouTube started around, I think it was 2009 when I first made my first video. Yeah. And then that was when I sort of started going by Jangz on any kind of socials.
Okay. Yeah.
I think my first ever email was like Superman Beau. Superman Beau 08 or something like that.
Hotmail?
The what?
Hotmail? Or?
Yeah, Hotmail. Superman Beau 08 or Superman Beau at hotmail.com or something like that. No, it doesn't exist anymore.
I remember when I first met you. We met in basketball. So
I don't actually remember. I think I would have met you when you were at school.
Yeah, you would have met me when I was in primary. And I remember meeting you. But I remember when we actually started kicking it properly, and I was like a regular.
Oh, like you'd always come to the stadium.
I would always come to the stadium. Yeah. But I remember the first time I would always come with my mum, and you would just say what's up or whatever, and then what the hell are you smiling for?
No, I just trying to remember. Just trying to remember.
But then what is it? Yeah. So, and then once I turned like 15, 14 or something like that, I started to play a bit more regularly, and then I think I just hung around you. Yeah.
Did you play in the junior comp? Like in basketball here? Did you play in the junior comp, like the competition?
Yeah, I did. I played with you with the Snipers for a little bit.
But were you...
Not with the Griffith teams though, no.
No, but like Snipers was senior comp.
Mm-hmm.
Did you play in... Like before that when you were younger, did you play in the junior comp, like under 12s, under 10s, that kind of stuff?
A little bit. Like I came to the trainings here and there, like wasn't consistent though.
Yeah, not demons.
No.
Just like the local
just
comp.
Just like the local comp. Yeah. No, but it was never like consistent.
Yeah, because like I sort of in my head, because like there was a lot of like I was working at the stadium. Obviously, we had junior basketball all the time. Yeah. So there was a lot of, and like I coached the younger team, so the under 16 boys, under 16 girls, under 18 boys, under 18 girls. So there was a lot of kids around that time, around the stadium. So my memory of you was kind of, comes in the same time as Scott.
Yeah, okay,
So it kind of comes in the same. You guys, because you were good mates, yeah?
Yeah.
And you were kind of kind of like part of the parcel. He's kind of together.
Yeah, okay.
So whenever, in my head, this is just my memory, it's probably wrong because I'm old now. But in my head, when you were coming in was when Scott would come in, or when Scott would come in, when you would come in, and then you would just shoot around. And I remember a lot of times there was like basketball would be over, but you guys would still be there shooting around or doing whatever. And so there'd be like me and Jordan and whoever. And that's my memory of you sort of first being on the scene.
No, I get you. But no, me personally, I always remember you.
Well, I mean, watch out.
This is Jangz08. But and I don't know. I would always try to say hello to you, and I don't know. You look like that cool older bro, sort of like basketball and all that. You know, so I don't know. Like, and plus, I was like the only child, so I was always like, I don't know, looking for bigger bros to hang out with. I don't know. But
I mean, how silly were you guys if you thought I was cool?
he's a cool guy. Yeah. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, but no, they were interesting times.
Yeah, no, it was good. Simpler for me, at least.
Yeah, not simple for you these days. I mean, not to put it back on you.
No. I would say it's not simple, but I wouldn't take it back. Like I still like where I am. I wouldn't go back, but I don't know. Maybe my mind's just open a lot more now than what it was then. But yeah, but still can't complain. Blessed and grateful, bro. Blessed and grateful.
So like I know that you started, like you really wanted to be a rapper.
Yeah.
So what led you to want to be a rapper? I mean, not want to be, you are a rapper. Yeah. What led you to want to be a rapper?
Okay, this is the real story. When I first came to Australia, my uncle was super big on like just, I don't know, like early 2000s R&B rap and all that stuff, you know.
So he was a legend. Yeah. He was a cool guy.
Yeah, exactly. So he was my sort of older brother. But then he had left to the army, and when he had left to the army, he left me all like CDs and stuff like that, all that stuff. So yeah, he had like all the Jay-Z's and Kanye's and all that stuff on there. And from, you know, time to time, I would check them out, and they were like, you know, I would listen to a lot of the Kanye's and a little bit of Jay-Z, a little bit of Nas and all that stuff. And every time I watched it, I was always used to think, you know, like, what if I had to go with that? You know, like, could I do that? Like, and then, but for a while, I just never really tried. I just enjoyed the music, and then, that's to say, music has always just been like that real big influence on me since a child. But then when we started hanging out, you started playing a lot of Tupac, a lot of Biggie, just things I've never heard before. So like it was like a big eye opener for me. And
do you mind if I ask how old your uncle was?
My uncle,
or uncle is now?
He is now, I think 36.
Okay, so similar age to me, but maybe a little bit young. I'm 38. So.
Yeah. So he left everything behind, and then once we started hanging out, that's when I saw the Biggies, the Tupacs, and whatnot, and then that's when I would go home and do my own research, and when you were showing me immortal techniques and all this, and, come on, man, but I'm going home and doing my own research, and I'm like, but I'm really appreciating it for the art that it is, you know, like, and that's how you introduced it to me. It wasn't more so, hey, and you gave me a mindset on how to look at music for real, because it wasn't like just listen to what everyone else is listening to. There's actual artists out there, you know. I mean,
it's really nice of you to say that, but I think you already had that in you. Like you were already doing that, and that's why I was like, oh man, I need to show this kid like this other stuff. Because I think you must have already had that that mindset to do that kind of stuff as already. It was really interesting actually. And then to watch you go from just like, you know, this little kid that was like, not a little kid, I mean, you were like a young man, you know, writing raps and stuff, to like then I remember you were like trying to put a few songs together here and there, and then you were doing lives on Facebook,
Yeah,
or was
yeah,
it on TikTok? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was Facebook.
Facebook,
yeah.
and so then like you'd be playing songs, then you'd do your own song,
Yeah,
and then from that, then I think, did you move to Melbourne?
Yeah, I moved to Melbourne.
And that's when you started to up your production and stuff a bit. And that's when I got on your back. I was like, man, I need to hear something like deep. I need to hear something deep. I'm still waiting for that really, really deep one. You had a few.
There's some in the vault. I don't know if it's fear of not releasing them or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It's just.
And so where do you think? So obviously that was sort of the one train of thought you were going. Like I think you'll always be a rapper in some form. Where does the idea for you to turn to podcasting? Where does that come from? Like what made you come up? Because I mean, like I said to you before we started, I'm going to turn this back on you. Feel free to throw stuff back at me.
Yeah, I will. Definitely.
Where does the idea? Where does that come from to sit down and want to have conversations with people?
I think I'm really just interested in people, and I've always been interested in people. Like I don't care what background you're from, what skin color you are. None of that matters to me. And I always think people have a cool story to share.
Yeah.
100%. So, and also just the whole thing of just being creative. Obviously, it's not rap, but it's another way of being creative. And, you know, pushing stuff out there. And another thing is, it's another platform where I can advocate things like for things that I really care about. You know. So I don't know. I guess. What could you repeat the question?
Like, where did the idea to go from being like or doing music to sort of moving it over to having conversations with people and like recording it as like a podcast or video cast, whatever you want to call it?
No, so like with rap and stuff, I had my own experiences and it introduced me to a lot of people and stuff like that. But if I'm being completely honest, I think I started to just kind of get bored with it. You know, like
the music industry is tough too.
Yeah, like, no, it is really tough. And once that happened, I'm like, but I've always even started asking myself, like, is this what I'm going to do? Or is this the only thing I'm going to do? Am I going to branch out and do different things and stuff like that? And with me, as much as I love rap, I know I've always wanted to do more than other things more than just rap, you know? So,
so not to use like a cliche term or nothing, but kind of like an influencer, but like, I know everyone throws that word around like it's crazy, but like as long as I've known you, you've always had some sort of like creative side, something that you wanted to put out to the world and something that you just can't keep inside. You got to find an avenue to put it out. Like early on, that was rap. Maybe this is the next way. I find it really interesting.
It's been a good journey, but I like talking to people, and so I thought maybe the podcast would be one of the ways to do it. I really enjoy watching podcasts myself. I really like watching debates, watching all that stuff. So you know, I'm not the best debater, but I like watching debates, and
I do have to, while we're sort of on that topic, I have watched both your other episodes, sort of been, and like there were so many things in your last episode. I was like, man, I wish I could get in there and nut you, but I won't.
But let's talk about one of them then. What was one thing?
The main one obviously is religion. Me and you have had many talks about religion. And like, I guess I love talking to people about religion that want to talk want to talk about it.
100%.
And argue it, debate it, whatever you want to call it. So I grew up in Anglican. I grew up Anglican in the Anglican church. Used to be a altar boy. Used to walk down the aisle at the start of church holding the cross or the candles. I'd serve the wine to people at church. I could do all that. And then sort of my ideas started to shift, and like I'm not a believer anymore, as you know already. And when I first come out of religion, I was really angry. Not angry like I want to punch someone, but angry like this to me. And like I said, like all this here is just only my opinion. Don't want to push this on anyone else. But my opinion is like, why all this stuff to me sounds like crap. Like, not to put anyone down or nothing. I was like, why did everyone teach me this stuff? Like, and I know it's what they weren't doing it on purpose. It was just what they believe, and that's fine. But I would argue with people.
Yeah.
I was like, I still remember that I had a conversation with somebody at a birthday party one time, and I'd had a few drinks, so I was sort of like a little bit loose with my tongue, and I'd just say whatever would come off the top of my head. And it was about the wise men, like the 12 apostles, 12 disciples, sorry. And I said, how do we know that after whatever's written in the Bible, when they went home at night, laid their head on their pillow, how do we know they were actually good people? Like, we don't. We only have what's written, which is fine. I'm not saying they were bad people or nothing, but just that we don't have any way to know. And so then the person that I was talking with come back at me and were like, no, like, they were good people. I said, but we don't know. Like, but we do know. I was like, we don't know. So I would just argue. And that's like, I knew that person didn't want to have that conversation with me. But I pushed it. So as I've gotten older, I've started to, and as my thoughts have matured a bit, I've sort of gone, I don't want to argue with people if they don't want to have the conversation, because I feel like that's unfair. It's like if somebody come to me telling me that gaming's terrible, and I said, look, I don't want to talk about it. And they just kept going, no, you got to talk about it. So I feel like that's bad.
No, if you don't mind me asking,
ask away.
Sort of put in your mind, or where did you get the idea that they were good people?
Oh, from the Bible. Like so I've years ago, like I was probably like 21 maybe, so like 17 years ago. I'd read through the Bible, not all at once, but like I'd read a bit and put it away for a month, and I'd read a little bit more, then 2 weeks later come back, read a little bit more. And I have to say, Numbers is so hard to read. Have you read Numbers?
Oh no, I'm not on Numbers yet. I've just recently bought a Bible, so I still don't know everything, but I'm just
like Numbers, just like, it's not hard to read, but it's like they talk about like, just for argument's sake, we'll use us. So Adonai, son of such and such, son of da da da, son of like, and it just sort of goes back and back for each person, and sort of explains the lineage of everybody. And so that part, like when you're reading down the down the Bible, you're reading the books, and it's just going da 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 da, and I'm like, oh man, it's so hard to read through. It's so hard to read through. But once you get through that, it's fine. But so what sort of put in my mind that they were good people is just, in the majority of cases, the conversation around the 12 apostles have been positive things. You know, they were behind Jesus, and you know, they helped. Like, I mean, I always find it interesting whenever we're talking about any historical figure, whether it be religious or not, we always take a snapshot of what their life is like, of what we know. But like, if we take that and put it into a logical stance, you know, me and you are sitting here now doing this podcast, but I don't know what you're thinking about when you go to bed. Like, you're laying your head on the pillow. You're totally different. We all hide a little bit of ourselves away from the rest of the world, and so I kind of feel like, while we do know everybody, we do know the people we're with, we don't really know everybody. So that was sort of where my mind was in that conversation, was like, I know what is told to us through biblical or through the scriptures and stuff, but you know, we don't really know what anyone was like.
Do you believe, according to the Bible, that the apostles are 100% good, according to the Bible?
No. I mean, according to the Bible, I wouldn't be able to recall every instance of anything that any of the apostles did, just off the top of my head. But
so when you say good in what sense, or do you mean just?
I mean, good in the way of what would have been good, what they would have deemed good, or what society would have deemed good for them at that time. Because obviously, we can't judge what is written in the Bible, what they did back then, by the standards and the laws that we have today. Because obviously they were under a different rule, they had different laws, and like, you know, if it was, I don't mean not to go down any crazy rabbit holes or nothing, but like, say if it was, you could sell a cow for this much money, but now we wouldn't sell a cow for that much money, or whatever, wherever you want to go. So we can't judge what they did by through our lens today. Even though we kind of have to, because because we don't know what they went through, or people of that era went through, because it's obvious that a place, you know, Bethlehem and all the places in the Bible, for the most part, it's obvious that they actually exist in real life. But my contention with all that is, well, even though we know them places exist, how do we know that what is written, what is said to have happened in those areas actually happened? Kind of like if you read about, say, Nazi Germany in the 40s or whatever, we know what's written and what we've been told and what we know. And in the same sense, like, we don't know what everyone was going through back then.
Okay, can I ask, do you think Jesus Christ was a real man?
That's an interesting question. I would say if I was like a gun to my head, had to make a decision, I would say there was probably someone that was very influential at the time named Joshua or whatever you want to call it, whatever, Jesus. But do I think that the divine happened or the magical things happened then? I can't believe that.
Is it that you can't believe it, or there's an underwhelming amount of evidence that probably doesn't support that?
Well, yeah, like I guess my mind always goes back, obviously through our lens here, living in 2025. My mind goes to, like, if something seems, well, let me put it like this. If I said to you, I have a pink elephant that flies out the front, would you believe me? Or would you say, nah, prove it? Like, show me.
So shut the fuck up. Bro.
Bro, go away. What are you talking about?
I know.
So I guess, to me, extraordinary claims like that, an elephant that can fly and it's pink, require extraordinary evidence. So somebody walking on water, to me, that seems like an extraordinary claim. So that would need extraordinary evidence, not just stuff written. I'd need to go, okay, well, let's see how somebody could walk on water. And obviously we can't do that, because if, just for argument's sake, say if everything in the Bible is 100% correct, then we can't just go and try and walk on water ourselves, because we're not like, Jesus.
But then wouldn't that be the point though? Because he is God. It kind of seems weird that we would be trying to figure out how to walk on water when him being God is the reason that he walked on water.
And that's the point, I guess. But in saying that, we have to break it down. So we say walk on water, that's the extraordinary claim. We can't get evidence either way. So then we go, okay, so what's the claim prior to that? Is that he's Jesus. Jesus is the Son of God. Okay, well, that in itself is an extraordinary claim. So then how can we prove that? And I know, like, it obviously comes down to faith. And faith is sort of something that everyone has in their own personal way. The way that you believe in things and the way you practice your faith is totally different to the way John might practice his faith over here. Not to use John as a biblical name. But like, I guess for me, things just, like, it's kind of like when scientists or astrophysicists say, oh, there's like this galaxy way out there that has, there's the famous one, I can't remember what the planet is. They're like, oh, it rains glass sideways. And I'm like, okay, I understand where they come from, and they can sort of give you a bit more. We can watch it as it rotates around its sun, and as it goes past its sun in line with us, we can see what is refracted, like the chemical makeup of the planet. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, but I'm not actually doing that test myself. So I'll trust that you know what you're talking about. Same way I trust in what biblical scholars talk about. I'll trust that they know what they're talking about, but can I fully believe it until I've actually seen it? No, I just can't.
Okay. So how do we explain things such as, like, these crazy sort of feelings that we have? We talk about love, anger, all these things that we feel. Where do these come from? And I'm not talking about just a chemical sense of thing, but, like, as well as ourselves, there's something that's the part where I'm always trying to, like, where does all that come from? Because it feels super,
kind of like supernatural.
Real supernatural. Like this
divine. So I think for me, it's that chemical, that one that we said. It is literally, from a physical standpoint, it is literally just chemical instances in our brain changing and doing stuff that make us feel like, obviously, if somebody walked in here and, like, threw, like, your TV around or whatever, I'm going to be upset with that person. So that's like a reaction to an action. And so I guess I can't see it as being something that is given to us because, well, I guess I can't really see it as being something that's given to us, say, like by God or whatever religion you may follow, because there's just no backing of that being the case. The feeling, I guess, is everybody's own feeling. They can have it their own way. But like just in that example of somebody throwing the TV, if somebody didn't walk in but the TV still fell over, would I still be angry? Like, I don't think so. I wouldn't be. I might be upset that the TV fell over. Yeah. But it's not somewhat like, there's not that thing that happened that caused the reaction. And I think that's actually goes to another point. I'm glad you brought that up because I don't know. I don't believe in free will.
You don't believe in free will?
No.
Okay.
Mainly, and I'm open to have my mind changed. Like if we take it out of like biblical terms where free will is given to...
I'm not in the space to like change any minds. I can't even articulate well enough for a thing, but I just want to conversate, obviously.
It's the way I look, it's a journey. I could get 2 years down the road and be like the most religious person in the world. I might find something that, and I'm always open to having my mind changed. But like, so, well, what was I saying? I've lost my train of thought now. What was the question you asked?
Like love, where it comes from.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I think it's just that chemical like reaction in the brain from. It's kind of like when you see something that you really like. Yeah. Like I believe that there's a thing where like your pupils dilate because you're releasing more chemical. Free will. That's right. Yeah, cool. This guy knows what he's doing. Yeah. So like me coming here today, okay, to record. What led to that? So what happened to that? That was like
me
you had you messaged me and you had a podcast and then what led to you starting a podcast and then like what led to that led to you starting a podcast. So I guess everything for me breaks down, the free will argument breaks down to something happened that caused my opinion or my thought process to change.
You have that choice, do you not?
Well, that's a good question. But say my choice to pick up this drink of water and have a drink. That's predicated by the fact that my mouth is dry or that I feel thirsty. Yeah. Where did the thirstiness come from? And so so the free will to pick it up, I have the free will to pick it up or not. But then also...
But you have free will not to pick it up or to stay thirsty.
Exactly. But you can't do that forever.
Yeah, I know, but the choice is still there nonetheless, whether you can do it forever or not.
That's true. But all your experiences leading up to that point led you to have the opinion of life and the opinion of anything that led you to do that. So like everything...
I guess my thing is, what I'm having trouble with that is, I kind of still see it as free will, but if you're going to allow your free will to dictate whether you pick up that cup or not, you're the one that's going to go thirsty.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. But then if you decide not to pick up that cup, but something in your mind happened to make you go, well, I'm not going to pick that up today. I'm not going to pick it up. I'm going to go thirsty. Something led you to that. Like, and I guess if we break it down to more...
Is that to exercise your thing of free will? Like to see if it really...
Well, but is it? Because something led to that point. So like, I guess if you break it down to like what led to this house being built? Like somebody picked up a hammer and some wood. And then what led to that person picking up a hammer? Well, they went to trade school. What led them to go into trade school? Well, they might have wanted to be a builder. What led them to want to be a builder? Maybe they've seen somebody building something.
What if when it comes to picking your wife or you see first time you saw Samantha? Yeah. Was that not of your free will to talk to her, to strike a conversation?
Well, yeah, perfect example. So I seen Sam, and shout out to Sam. Yeah.
Hey Sam.
I seen Sam, but what led me to be at the park that day? So like, and what led me to have the opinion to talk to a girl that I just randomly seen. And so I know what actually led to me to that point. It was situations with previous ex-girlfriends where I was trying to be, the good boyfriend, do the best thing, and then ended up really messy to me to go to the point where, the next girl, I'm just going to talk to her and just be, whatever. I'm just going to be one of those arsehole boyfriends that or guys that just talk to girls and don't really care about them. And then met Sam and that's like 20 years ago. So I guess like there's always, to me, there's always something that come before it to lead me to that point. Like what led me to have this glass of water was you asking me if I wanted a glass of water when I got here.
Yeah, but you still have the chance to say no.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole thing of free
Yeah.
will, right? It's
Yeah.
like that ability of choosing whether you can say no or yes, or
Yeah, of course.
you know, and even if you do take it, even though I did offer it to you, like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you chose to take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could have said no. Like, and I guess that's the whole part of free will.
I guess the problem that I see with it is that we can only ever look at it after the fact. So we can only ever look back and say, well, you could have chosen not to pick it up, but I didn't.
Or could you say that free will exists if we're like constantly just thinking about it? You know? If we're like not thinking about it and we're just doing things because, for example, I went for a walk and from this walk, it led me to meet my mate that was this or whatever. But if I wasn't really thinking about that, if I was, you know, cautious of every move that I was making, then...
So, but what led you to go for that walk?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you
but
know,
that's what I mean. So would I have to be aware for free will to really set in? Like,
well, I think it's something that we do, humans do, just because we're living. Like we live and we just continually react to reaction. So some, you know, like, and I guess that's where like it'll break down. Like, because we'll both see this glass and go, I have the choice to pick it up or not. Yeah. And I understand that. I kind of do. Like, I've got the choice to pick it up. I understand it. But my mind goes to like the deeper thought process of it, of like, well, what led me to want to either pick it up or not pick it up? And even like what led us to have this conversation then? Like, it just goes back and back and back. Like, in my opinion, like, I guess this will differ on this with like the creation of Earth and things like that. But like what led to that, from my perspective, what led to that happening? And then what led to the thing before that? What led to the sun? What led? And like, obviously you go all the way back and like people might say, well, that's God.
Actually, let's stay on that for a moment, because one of the issues that I've been having is, and I've been trying to research it, trying to find the best answer possible. But so a couple of weeks ago, I said to myself, God is God, obviously. Did he really make the world in 7 days? Was it 7 literal days? Or what, like, because you have to like also, because when I started asking that question, I started to say to myself, in the Bible, a lot of people, even when reading the Bible, they misinterpret things because the Bible has a certain way to be read or something like that. Even I misinterpret things or whatever it is. And so I started to say to myself, if that's the case, is the whole thing for creation, was it supposed to be understood in a different way? Or so I started asking myself, I don't know. So like I started to look into it. I didn't really get too far, but I started to look into it because it doesn't bother me, but because I know God, if God is real, then 7 days isn't a problem for him. But then we have to go into things like the dinosaurs and this and that and stuff like that. Like all these things happen still. So like, where were they all in God's timeline? Yeah. You know, so, and then I remember like researching and I was saying that the Hebrew word for day is yom. And yom is necessarily for, I could be paraphrasing here. Right. Is it for a period of time and like a long extent of time? So
could have been way longer.
Yeah. So the first day could have been not a literal 24-hour day, but a longer period of time to think. But obviously, it still doesn't answer it. But that's, I guess,
it's interesting to think about.
It is really interesting to think about.
And I guess like I can put on my like religious hat and go, yeah, like that may be the case. And like even the words that were written at the time of the Bible's creation. How do we know that the people that were writing it, even though it was inspired by God and whatnot, how do we know what they wrote
Yeah.
is the actual literal meaning, that because they were just humans. They just had they had their own understandings as well.
Yeah.
And like obviously as it's sort of gone along, the Bible's been retranslated and retranslated.
Yeah.
Like, differences in words and, what we might have today might be a total different thing to what, if there is a God, that God set up. Like maybe he was like, no, that's not. Yeah.
So what about the Dead Sea Scrolls and how they've been matched to what is now, and it's pretty high, like that is pretty accurate.
So I haven't really looked into the Dead Sea Scrolls as much. Yeah. So do you mind giving me a bit of
so obviously I haven't looked into the Dead Sea Scrolls, but when it says that, when I was just watching a documentary not long ago, it said when we when we put to side by side what we have now and the Dead Sea Scrolls, it's like a 95 something that in accuracy that it matches up or something like that. But I didn't really look specifically into what verses or what was correct with that.
And I mean, it's a big subject, so you're not going to be able to do it in like a 1 or 2 videos. Like obviously, this is something to think about. And maybe we can both go away and talk about it and come back down the track and go, let's look up the Dead Sea Scrolls. Yeah. But I guess like I had a conversation with someone the other day that they were insistent that everything in the King James Bible is 100% literal and it's 100% true. And so that's kind of that's a different stance to what, say, I might take or what you might take. Like you were talking about like the interpretation of words and like the changes of words, maybe. Like you said, the word for day was what?
Yom in Hebrew or something.
Yeah, so, and like that could have been what was meant to have been passed forward.
Exactly,
and now we're using English. We could be totally messing it up. So like, I guess that's why I so love talking about it, because I'm so open to having my thoughts challenged.
Yeah.
But I guess, just to sort of recap that whole side of things, there's nothing that's been convincing enough for me to go, yeah, that sounds legit.
Okay, so what I would ask is, what do you think needs to happen for you to be like, okay, maybe there is something in it?
Well, I guess...
Or where does your mind need to be changed?
Well, if I knew that, I would be able to say, well, if this happened, I would then be religious or whatever. But I guess when I think about that question, I go, well, if God is everything that he says he is, or the Bible says he is, then he would know what needs to happen for my mind to change. And I guess like the biggest argument against God that I've ever heard was, Neil deGrasse Tyson is.
Oh yeah, yep.
There was somebody asked him, is he religious? Is he an atheist?
I remember seeing that,
And he said, he doesn't want to sort of say he's an atheist, but I think his basic thought process is similar to mine, where he sort of looks at it and goes, if every describing or description of God that he's ever heard has been like God is all powerful, all loving, all merciful, omnipotent, omnipresent, and so like he sort of said, well, if God is all powerful and all loving, then how come there's like bone cancer in babies, or how come that tsunami that killed 10,000 people happened? That to him, that doesn't seem like God would be all loving, because that's obviously not a very loving thing to do. Once again, that's only from our perspective as humans in 2025. But when I think about it, that's where my mind goes. Is like,
would that be? Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're right.
But would that be saying kind of, God, why did you do that to that child?
Possibly. Well, why did you do that to humans?
But how do we know it was God that did it to that child?
Well, God created everything.
Yeah, obviously God created everything.
Everything.
But maybe it could have been something passed on down from.
So I guess the question is like, could God say little Johnny over here has bone cancer?
Yeah.
Could God have stopped little Johnny from getting bone cancer?
100%, yeah.
And so because he didn't, that means he sat by and watched little Johnny get bone cancer. That doesn't seem like an all-loving God to me.
I know, but but when this is the parts that I understand. When you're going based off the Bible, like, what was it? we believe that death is not the end. And obviously, it is. There's no way for me to say, you know, that's justifiable, or that baby deserves that, because that baby doesn't deserve. That baby doesn't know anything, you know. So to come into a world that it's been condemned with that. But obviously, if this is for people that believe in it. But we believe in the Bible that life isn't the end. So obviously, this baby had been dealt a bad hand, but yeah, it's like you're going to heaven after, and it's like,
well,
yeah.
That's another question because, like, depending on whereabouts you read in the Bible, you may have the sins of your father. Like, even though Jesus come to absolve sins and that, but some religions or some sects of Christianity believe that was just for the people that were alive then.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, I don't know, like. Yeah. But even so, like, without actually coming and giving us proof or like showing us 100% true that little Johnny that's going to die of bone cancer is going to go to heaven, we can't really know that. We can believe it, and we can trust that that's what's going to happen, and hope as much as we want. And like, I think that's...
But that's the thing. That's why I say according to the Bible.
Oh,
That's why I say specifically according to the Bible. Because if it's what I believe, then I have to go based off that, correct or not? You know what I mean? So when I'm saying that, like, even when we talk about all these injustices happening to, like, kids that, whether they're 5, 6 or whatever, randomly get hit by a car or something like that, someone say, then what happens to them? Do they and if they never believe, do they just end up going to hell? Like, no, God has a place for all those people. See, now that's gonna fuck up the audience.
That's all right. Yeah. I guess it's kind of like it's weird because we're both coming from different perspectives. Yeah. So while I can understand that that's the perspective you're coming from, according to the Bible, I guess where I can't go according to the Bible,
and
because
I understand that. That's why. And I guess that's always why the conversation is always hard between people, because someone is always also trying to say something from their point of view,
of course.
And then the other person is saying something from their point of view, and without each of them failing to realize that they're just saying things from their world. So it's like both points of view. So it's going to thing, you know, unless both of them have the understanding of that, they're not really going to be like, okay, I get what you're saying.
I guess maybe we need to bring the conversation back, and this may be for another time, but maybe we bring the conversation back to why we either believe in the Bible or we don't believe in the Bible, instead of going from the perspective of the Bible, because like we can both sit and read the same Bible.
Okay, so how would you answer that?
How would I answer?
Why we believe in the Bible and why we don't believe.
Oh, okay. Well, to me, the majority of people believe in the religion they believe in because they were born into it, or they were born adjacent to it. Not everybody. Obviously, somebody could be born close to Islam and move and become Christian, or like myself, somebody could be born into Christianity and go just nothing, go atheist, or non-believer, or whatever you want to call it. So I guess that's what I would say. The majority of people believe what they believe because they were born into it. The same way a lot of people have the same opinion of like human rights because they were taught by their parents. Like, you know, if you were born as just a baby with no family and you were just raised by a random person that didn't teach you anything, anything, like just fed you, schooled you, just gave you the basic, you know, your maths, how to write and read, but didn't give you any kind of opinion on it, what would you be then?